So a few weeks ago, I released this video about monthly dividend paying stocks, and based off the comments I got, I realized that there are a whole lot more monthly dividend stocks that I never thought about mentioning because, I didn't know about them. But one in particular that I'm like really ashamed I never mentioned because I love this stock. So yes, if you haven't guessed, in today's video, we're gonna be talking about 6 more dividend paying stocks that pay you every single month. Let's get started. What's going on, everybody? My name is Darren Jackson. I hope you guys are having a great day so far and a great week so far. And there are a lot more dividend stocks that pay monthly that I didn't know about. So a few weeks ago, I made a video talking about my top 5 monthly dividend paying stocks. And on a side note, guys, I just want to say thank you so much for watching that video. It blew up out of absolutely nowhere, and it brought in more subscribers that are willing to take the time to hear this random guy on YouTube talk about his investing journey. So I really appreciate all my subscribers, especially the guys that found that video and decided to subscribe and listen to my other videos. So thank you very much. But anyway, it got a lot of reaction, a lot of comments. And within those comments, there were specific people that mentioned 6 additional monthly dividend paying stocks, 5 of them which I didn't know about at all, and one in particular that I never realized was actually a monthly dividend paying stock. I was just seeing them come in pretty often, but didn't realize it was every month, so I'm a little ashamed of myself. So with that being said, guys, in this video we're going to talk about 6 more monthly dividend paying stocks, and make sure you watch the entire video because I'm going to shout out every commenter that brought up each of the dividend stocks, and a few of them are actually financial YouTubers themselves. So make sure you stay tuned because I'm going to be shouting them out as well, and hopefully you guys will check out their YouTube channel as well because they make some really great footage and they're small YouTubers just like myself. So we're all trying to grow within this YouTube business. So let's get this going. All right, guys, so before we get started, just keep in mind a lot of the information that I'm pulling into this video is going to come from the brokerage app Robinhood, and there's some additional information I'm going to get from dividend.com. You'll definitely understand once I get to that point, so I just want to put that out there anyway. So with that being said, the first of the 6 monthly dividend paying stocks is SPHD. I love that stock. I love it, and it pays every single month, and I never realized it. It hurts my feelings. But yes, SPHD, it is the Standard & Poor High Dividend Low Volatile Stock. So basically, it's an ETF that takes the top 50 lowest volatile stocks from the top 75 highest dividend paying stocks from the S&P 500 index. So you have a high combination of consistent dividends that can potentially increase over a long period of time, but low volatility. So in one way, it's kind of unfortunate because you're not expecting the SPHD worth to just shoot up a certain amount of percentage overnight over the course of a couple of days. But at the same time, you're not going to wake up seeing the worth of SPHD lower. Obviously, except during the times that we're in when we're going through this major pandemic that's impacting our economy. But that should show you that these stocks, all these stocks are pretty discounted. So you definitely want to look into them, especially this one. It sits right now at a 5%, roughly 5% dividend yield. So that equates to paying about 15-ish cents a month per share. I have currently 5 shares. I'm making a little over 75 cents per month, which is really cool. Hopefully I can own at least 10 shares in the future, but that's neither here nor there. And it currently has about a 13% price to earnings ratio. And remember, guys, for those who may not know, price to earnings just pretty much identifies if a stock is overpriced and underpriced. And a lot of these are quite underpriced, especially the ETFs I'm gonna talk about, with the exception of a couple, but just keep that in mind and we'll get to that later. The next monthly dividend stock is the DIA, which is the SPDR Dow Jones Industrial ETF. That stock was actually recommended by another YouTuber named Galen Mast Investing. Galen, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. If I'm not, please don't be mad. But make sure you guys check out his channel if you haven't already. He talks a lot about investing, and he also talks about options trading, which I'm personally starting to learn. So if you ever have any information about that, you definitely want to check this guy out. But anyway, the DIA is made up of the top 30 largest cap stocks within the US, voted on by the Wall Street Journal. It currently has about a 2% dividend yield and about, I believe, a 19% PE ratio. What's interesting about this stock is when I was looking into it, I saw that the dividend payout every month it changes, like it decreased a couple cents one month, increased a couple of cents next month. I wasn't able to gather enough information to see if this stock was consistently adjusting, like there was an average that it paid out every single month. But it's definitely a stock that you want to check out, especially because it is an ETF. Just like SPHD and the third stock we're going to be talking about very shortly, it's going to take your money and divide it amongst a bunch of different stocks. So it decreases the volatility automatically, and you can expect to see returns over a long period of time. These are definitely stocks that, in my opinion, you want to hold on to for a long time. So definitely check out DIA. So the next monthly dividend paying stock is GLADSTONE Capital. That was actually recommended to me by another YouTuber named Ryan Babbs. So make sure you guys check out his channel as well. So GLADSTONE Capital is basically, you know what, honestly guys, I had to write this one down because it was gonna be hard for me to remember exactly what GLADSTONE Capital is about, so just give me a second. I just wanna make sure I'm providing the most accurate information, so hold on. All right, so GLADSTONE Capital, it's a business development company in which they invest in debt and equity securities consisting of secured first and second lien term loans to lower and middle market businesses. That's one of those companies that sounds very, very, very boring, but I still feel like it's a company you want to look into. So they currently have a dividend yield of 10.5-ish%. So that's fairly high in comparison to some of the other dividend stocks. So that may be something you want to keep in mind of, because from my experience at least, most dividend stocks that have a high yield may be looking into decreasing it, but I could be wrong with this stock. So definitely make sure you do your research on all of these stocks, as obviously I'm not a financial advisor, which I should have mentioned at the very beginning of the video. So I could be wrong, and it could be a very good stock to invest in. So make sure you consider that. Now, the PE ratio, according to Robinhood.com, shows that it's 0%. Like it literally says 0, or it just shows blank. But this is where Dividend.com comes into play. When I checked on Dividend.com, it shows 94.53. Now, the reason I think it did that is because I believe the PE that it displayed was the forward PE. So I think it's taking the information from now and guessing what it'll be in the next month or in the next quarter and giving you a 94% PE ratio. And I believe Robinhood is giving you the current PE ratio. And there's two reasons why the PE ratio on Robinhood or on any website will show you 0, nothing, or NA. The first reason is simply because there's not enough information. They don't have any current information on this stock as of that moment, so they're just gonna put NA or just leave it blank. The second reason is because the PE ratio is negative, and it's negative technically because the earnings per share is negative, and that just basically identifies a company that's suffering a major loss. So keep that in mind as we go through some of these other companies. All right, so the next monthly paying dividend stock is ticker symbol IVR, which is Invesco Mortgage Capital. That was actually recommended by Jonathan McGuire. So Jonathan, thank you very much for commenting on that previous video and mentioning IVR, because I personally didn't know about it. So appreciate you giving me some more knowledge about monthly dividend stocks. So IVR is a holding company. They're into investing, financing, and managing residential and commercial mortgage-backed securities. Again, probably just as exciting as GLADSTONE Capital, at least in my opinion. Now, this is another stock that has a very, very high dividend yield according to Robinhood. It has about a 32.86% dividend yield. So you definitely want to look out for that. And personally, I've come to the understanding that there's a lot of monthly dividend stocks that people just invest in, aware that it may not increase over a long period of time, like the actual worth of the company, even though they may be long-term growth investors. They're just taking advantage of the dividend side of it. So as somebody like myself who's a long-term growth and dividend investor, this is a stock that I may consider investing into as well, and you should as well. And it does also have a PE ratio of 2.33%. So that is very close to it being very, very undervalued, to the point where it may be suffering a loss as well. But you definitely want to do your research on that before you invest into INVESCO. Okay, so the next monthly dividend paying stock is ticker symbol JNK, which is, I'm gonna have to look one more time. It's the SPDR Bloomberg BARCLAY'S High Yield Bond ETF. I wish they just simplified the titles a little bit more, but you know, whatever. So this ETF was actually recommended to me by one of my favorite small YouTubers. His name is Jacob Fisher. He talks a lot about credit cards and traveling and other types of investing strategies. So make sure you guys check out his channel as soon as you possibly can. He has a lot of great information, and he's another small YouTuber that you definitely should take the time to subscribe and support. So this particular ETF tracks high liquid and high yield US dollar denominated corporate bonds. And right now it currently has a 5.76% dividend yield, which is a fairly healthy dividend yield. But the PE ratio on Robinhood and dividend is 0 or NA. So again, that could either mean that this stock is very undervalued to where they're suffering a loss, or they just don't have enough current information. And if you look at the stock, especially on Robinhood, I'm pretty confident that it's the latter, that they just don't have enough information at the moment. But obviously you want to definitely keep a lookout for that. But first, make sure you subscribe to Jacob Fisher. Like, go check out his channel first and make sure you like him and then subscribe to him. But do that first before you look into J&K. And the final monthly dividend stock was recommended to me by someone named BFry38. So I appreciate you commenting on that YouTube video that I made a few weeks ago. I really appreciate it. And it's a company with the ticker symbol EFC, which is Ellington Financial. It's a real estate company. So they manage mortgage-backed assets, securities, loans, and real estate debts. And they currently have a 14.33% dividend yield. Now, this is one of the other companies that when I pulled up the history of its monthly dividend payout, it adjusted a lot. So I think the previous month it paid 9 cents, but the month prior to that it paid 8 cents. Now the month before that, I'm pretty confident it was higher than 8 cents, but I would have to look back at that, and that's something that you definitely want to look into as well. And the other concern I had about this company is the PE ratio. So when I went on Robinhood, I believe the PE ratio was blank, but when I went on dividend.com, it showed me the PE ratio was negative 135%. That's a lot. That's pretty bad if that's accurate. That literally means that they're suffering a very huge loss. And unfortunately, I didn't look into EFC long and hard enough to understand if they had some huge buyout or any type of lawsuit or anything was going on to where it shows that because of a temporary issue. BFry38, you're the one that mentioned this video, which again, I appreciate it. So if you see, hopefully you know more of this about me, so make sure you definitely leave a comment about what exactly is going on. But obviously in the meantime, I'm gonna look into it as well. But this is definitely a stock that you wanna recommend looking at because again, it pays monthly and there are only so many stocks that pay monthly dividends. It definitely contributes to seeing compound growth, which is something I'm working on right now because I recently took all of my stocks and activated drip investing on all of them. So eventually the dividends that I'm getting every single month and every single quarter are gonna slightly increase because I'm just reinvesting back into them on top of investing X amount every single month. So these stocks are definitely some stocks that you definitely want to consider. And again, I thank everyone that left comments recommending these stocks. You know, it really means a lot to me that you guys are taking the time to watch my videos and leave comments about your opinions. Again, guys, I am a fairly new investor. I just celebrated 1 year on Robinhood specifically. So there's a lot I have to learn. I feel like there's a lot I'm always gonna have to learn. So I appreciate you watching this video. Make sure you guys watch some of these other videos. Hopefully they help you in your investing journey as they have in mine. But thank you guys, and until next Thursday, take care.